Welcome to the Dream Team Podcast, content for the creative and critical thinking. Today's topic is the Media, Journalism, and Film Department, where we will explore the problems with the program, things we've been excited to learn about, and our motivations towards the future. My name is Hunter.
My name is Blake.
And we're both journalism majors here at Missouri State. I got into journalism mainly because I value being informed. I think it's an important part of American democracy to have opinions and to know what you're talking about if you're going to take part in it. And why did you get involved, Blake?
I got involved with journalism program because I wanted to do music, but didn't quite make it in the music department here at Missouri State. So journalism was my fallback plan. I also have a huge interest in pop culture and just being informed. And then my first semester on campus, I actually wanted to go more into the reporting and writing side of things. And I wanted to minor in Middle Eastern Studies and kind of do a back and forth. But then after more realization, I realized that writing wasn't so much my thing, and I enjoyed the broadcasting side more of things. So,
what made you realize you enjoyed broadcasting more?
The thing I like more about broadcasting is being more of the face and less of having to do the research. I realized that research is not my strong suit and not really something that I enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that is very much emphasized in a lot of our classes here at Missouri State. It's just like this, it's so technical a lot of the time, and I understand that that's a big part of journalism is like being technically correct and knowing all your information and being well-versed in all of it. But I feel like that by just doing that all the time, it doesn't facilitate a lot of interest. It doesn't allow people to really see what journalism is. I feel like it's just kind of all the technical aspects. And I think that's a big thing for why a lot of students change majors, because they aren't immediately interested. It's a lot of just the ins and outs, and I don't think they make it exactly approachable for a lot of people. I'm personally sticking with journalism because I think it's what I've always wanted to do, and I think that despite what I'm experiencing right now in Missouri State, I think that it is helpful and that it is going to get me to where I need to be. I'm just not sure if I like how it's being done. How do you feel so far about that?
I agree with you. I think that right now, and I know we both agreed on this, that it kind of feels like we're in this gray area of life and within our major. Mm-hmm. But I agree in the sense that a big part of me is still keeping me hooked because I know what I want to do after I'm done with school, and that's what keeps me hooked. And I think right now it is just more we're not really sure what's going on, and there's not a whole lot of structure to anything we do, but hopefully the further we get along, that will come.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing is that the way they have changed the MJF school for the most part, especially journalism, is that it's very broad. And I think that it makes it very hard to figure out what exactly in the field you're passionate about. If you, for you want to broadcast, mm-hmm. and you figured that out basically just, process of this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do this part of journalism. I don't want to do that. But everybody's kind of forced and shoehorned into learning the exact same thing in journalism. And I don't think that, I guess it just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel inclusive. It doesn't make you feel like you know exactly what you want. You're just kind of doing exactly what you're told all the time.
For sure. It'd be better if it was more detailed, because prior to 2015, we had two different majors. So you had the broadcast side and then also the print and media side.
Exactly.
And so I feel like if we got to have different tracks where we were put in classes that helped us more specifically with our majors, and we would know a little more, and there would be more of structure and less of a gray area.
And I think that the university had good intentions by doing that, by combining all of it. They want us to be they want us to look more diverse when we
more
well-rounded. Exactly. When we go in for interviews and stuff, but I personally think that it would be better to be more experienced in one specific thing and then know about other things, or have a working knowledge of other things, rather than being, just as good at 20 things. I feel like if you want to specialize in something, you should be able to, rather than just being forced to do all the different aspects that may not apply to your life down the line.
Right, and we discussed how, we could always be really strong in one thing and then along the way pick up other things that would enhance our career, not so much having to know everything at one time.
Right, I think there's something to be said about being a little bit more specialized in one aspect. But I get that a lot of people do enjoy learning every in and out about it, but I feel like it also deters a lot of people, like I said earlier. And our friend Sean, specifically, has decided to switch majors. And why did you decide to do that, Sean?
So I was really I was originally a digital film and TV production major, but just throughout the program, I've started to take more classes directly towards that program. Just as I've gone through them, I've seen like professors and all the content that we're like required to create and all the projects that we have to do. They just don't seem like as high of a quality as they need to be. Like it feels like the program isn't providing to me what I expected. It's like I went into the program like wanting to learn more, and it feels like all I'm doing is learning the same stuff over and over again. Like the caliber that the professors are giving out to us isn't something that I not just expected, but I wanted to see more from the program, in the sense that like one of the projects that I had to do recently was a editing project, right? Video editing. And this was like a previous student's project, and we were just like re-editing it to like give our own take to it. Like this is the highest quality that Missouri State MGF program has to give, and the quality just didn't feel there. It felt like it was absent in the what I wanted from the program and just what I went into the program for. So having a lack of that just really uninspired me to continue with it.
So was it a hard decision?
Oh, very. Because, like, throughout my entire life, like, I've always had a love for film. I've always wanted to, I wanted to just create videos, create projects that really just inspired me. And that was one thing that I always did. Like, my favorite place in the world is going to the movie theater.
Right.
And just enjoying sitting there and letting the world just wash away as I just pay attention and focus on a film. And so, like, to have that dream and to follow that dream was something that was really cool for me. And now that I'm trying to partake in expanding on that dream, it just feels like I've kind of lost my place in it all of a sudden. And that's probably why I'm switching now. It's just because I found my place somewhere else that I've always been involved in, and that's music. And so being able to switch to the music department and the music education, specifically instrumental, it just already takes up so much of my life that it just feels like the right place
it's
to
more
go.
practical for you.
Yeah, a lot more.
And I guess for like people like Blake and I, we are trying to see it through. We want to commit to what we enjoy, but I think it's a little bit harder whenever you just don't feel like people specifically care about what you want to do. Like, you know, they don't consider all the factors that go into it. They don't consider that I might want to be a broadcast person, but so why am I here writing all of these, like, you know, very technical pieces of, like, you know, random sports articles and things like that. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think we can both attest to what Sean was saying about kind of getting like lost in the program. You know, I think that in some of our classes you can definitely get lost, and also some of our classes there is a lot of repetition, like Sean discussed. Like I know a journalism class that Hunter and I took together last semester versus the journalism class I'm in now, a lot of it is structured the exact same, and I'm doing the exact same things that I've already learned. And
the repetitive nature is what's really frustrating, because you go into class and you want to learn and you want to like better yourself as a writer or as, you know, whatever you want to be in the field. But when you just go in and you feel like you're doing the same thing, and maybe a lot of the times, at least I've found, that it's not always super well guided or that it's very broad, you just start to wonder, like, you know, is this even helping me? Like, is this getting me farther? Or am I just kind of listening to what I've been told to do? And I guess I wish there was more of a goal in mind throughout the entire process.
Yeah, no, I can agree with you. And to go back to kind of like the professor supporting you kind of idea, like I know when I decided to take a different angle second semester and kind of look at the entertainment news side of things, kind of coming with like my love of pop culture, there's some professors I've told who have been extremely supportive of it and been like, oh yeah, I could totally see you doing that. Like just keep pushing for it and keep going, because like it's possible and you can do it. And there's other professors who have looked at me and been like, I don't really know about that. Right. It's almost like they don't know how to help me with it.
Yeah, I think that once you get past like the basic layer of journalism, they don't really know how to help you get there. A lot of the times it's just like, you're really just depending on what their bank of knowledge is, and it's very specific to them, and they don't really know how to get you to the end game. And not that it's their job. I think it's everybody's, you know, job to figure out what they're going to end up doing and how they're going to do it. But I think it would be helpful if they could provide a better knowledge on specific things. But that's just me, and that's just Blake, and that's just Sean. And this has been the Dream Team Podcast. Thank you guys for listening to our little mid-youth crisis and our, you know, college experience. Tune in next time.